Dossier, securing.
The issue of national security has again come to the fore. At this point in time, agencies of government and security outfits have been called upon to uphold their constitutional mandate, thereby putting all hands on deck to be able to tackle insecurity as it relates to kidnapping, banditry, and insurgency. Welcome to Security Dossier. My name is Lawrence Aldo. This is Television Nigerian. The program will continue after this short break.
Is Television Nigerian, a broadcast network committed to serving you the very best in online and offline television programming. Situated in the serene environment of Guzape, Abuja FCT, TVN, as it is fondly called, caters to a wide variety of audience via carefully orchestrated mind-blowing programs in the areas of fashion, business, politics, entertainment, religion, movies, food and health, culture and lifestyle, events around the globe, sports and foreign news. Whatever your inclination, we've got you completely covered with programs like Issues of the Moment, The Patriot, Daybreak Nigeria, Matter Africa, TVN Business Time, Healthy Living, From the Cradle, Stay Inspired, Entertainment Gist, Movie Hour, Hits Paradise, among others. All designed to keep you thoroughly informed, entertained, at the edge of your seats and yearning for more. A tour around our domain will reveal a highly dedicated staff force and a state-of-the-art facility and equipment for high-definition quality broadcast, making our station your number one choice in advertising your business and propagating your ideas. We are currently on NightComSat doing our test transmission for takeoff in the nearest future. Television Nigerian is located in Nigeria at Television Nigerian House, Guzape Hilltop Mansion, beside Guzape White House, Guzape Abuja FCT.
Welcome to Security Dossier, a program that focuses on security issues in and around the country, as well as efforts of security agencies in the protection of lives and properties of citizens, as well as in the defense of the territorial integrity of the country. Today we are looking at how government agencies, especially security agencies, would make their impact in the war against banditry and kidnapping. And our focus today is on the National Park Service. We have a very special and distinguished guest today on the program. I'm talking of none other than the Conservator General of the Nigerian National Park Service, no other than Dr. Ibrahim Musa Goni. Welcome to Security Dossier, sir.
Thank you very much, Lawrence. I hope you are staying safe.
Very, very safe, sir.
Thank you.
What would you say is the mandate of the National Park Service?
Thank you very much, Lawrence. Simply put, the mandate of the National Park Service is derived from the definition of a national park. In the definition of a national park, it is an area of land or seascape. It could be large, it could be small, where the country has competent legal authority has taken steps to conserve, preserve, and of course secure the plants, animals, any biotic, abiotic feature that can be found in that area of land or seascape. It is also an area that is set aside for education, culture, and scientific research. It is also an area where nobody, underline that, is allowed to enter anything whatsoever except with approval from the authorities. So from this mandate, you can see that the national park is established, one, to secure all the plants and animals that are in those areas designated as national parks. Two, to encourage people to visit the national park for education, culture, and scientific research. And three, for people to obtain permission to come into the national park for either leisure, for tourism, or for any aesthetic activity, thereby making them popular.
Yes.
Making them at least household names in the country, and of course generating revenue, contribute to gross domestic product of the country.
Would you like to tell us some of your vision upon assumption of office as the Conservator General of National Park Service?
Yes, thank you very much, Lawrence. On assumption of office, the first thing I did was to undertake a study on how popular are our national parks, study on how secured are our national parks, study on how visited are our national parks. These studies came out with what informed my focus, that there is need to create awareness, there is need to promote the national parks, there is need to market the national parks so that they become household names. The study on security showed that there is need for the national park to go into interagency collaboration, realizing that what is on ground and the emerging challenges of banditry, cattle rustling, kidnapping, which of course were happening in other forest reserves that became vulnerable. So realizing that if the people involved are done with these vulnerable reserves, they could now come to the national park. So we have to be proactive. So that led to the interagency collaboration with the Nigerian Army, the Nigerian Police Force, the Director of State Security Service, and of course the local government's authority where these national parks are located, so that we could use the services of the vigilantes they have to be able to at least secure these national parks. Looking at whether the national parks are marketable or not, I now looked at our organogram, and clearly on the organogram we have a governing board. On the governing board we have the Nigerian Tourism Development Corporation as member. So it means readily we have an agency that can package what we have and sell to the world. What we need to do is to come closer and keep on relating, so that we'll be able to draw the attention of the NTDC to what we have, and for the NTDC to be able to package what we have and sell to the world, and even designate the national parks as tourism sites in this country.
Recently, the president, approved the establishment of a number of national parks in the country. What's the significance of this major step?
Just last year, towards the end of last year, the president gave approval to the establishment of 10 new national parks located in 9 states of the country. 2 are located in Bayelsa, 1 in Jigawa State, 1 in Kano State, 1 in Niger State, 1 in Nasarawa State, 1 in Osun State, 1 in Plateau State, 1 in Kwara State. So, with this approval, what the president is trying to do there is to ensure that the protection of those grazing reserves or forest reserves now to be taken over as national park is enhanced, is scaled up. Scaling up the security in that place means the president is fighting incidences of banditry, kidnapping that has become common thing in our forest reserves. So security is going to be scaled up. 2, there's going to be job opportunity for our youths, because there's going to be employment of indigenous of these places in the scheme of the National Park Service. And 3, these states are now going to have additional federal presence, which every state wants to have. Every state wants to know, do we have the federal government presence apart from the police, the military, what other federal presence do we have? Now you have a national park. So it means such states are now brought closer to the federal government to be able to benefit from the programs and policies of the federal government. Then the economy of that state, the economy of such states too, is going to improve, because once these areas are improved upon in terms of infrastructure, tourist visit to such places will improve. And once a visitor visits a place, directly or indirectly, he's contributing to the economy of that place.
Sure.
So that means the idea behind creating this national park is not only to increase the acreage of forest reserve we have in this country to be able to mitigate climate change. It is also going to have some of these benefits, social and economic benefits.
For one of the things we know about your agency is, as part of its responsibility, is being able to provide surveillance and intel as it regards farmer headers clashes, cattle rustling, banditry, kidnapping, and all forms of insurgency. What we also know again is that, like its counterparts in other countries, the national parks is a full-fledged paramilitary service. We're talking in terms of security now. What are some of the challenges? Why haven't we been able to get to that point? That's one. And then secondly, in the area of surveillance, how successful has this agency been, in providing intel and then trying to mitigate issues of kidnapping? Because on the whole, in the recent time, Nigeria has suffered a lot of issues when it comes to kidnapping, banditry, and all whatnot. How has your agency been able to help to mitigate these issues? Do you need to increase presence, or you are doing just enough? Just look at the issue of surveillance.
The issue of other countries' national parks are fully paramilitary. Nigerian National Park is paramilitary. That is the reason you see me appear like this. In 2014, the agency was reclassified as a paramilitary agency. And this is what we are gradually trying to do to ensure that we are fully regimented. 2, about surveillance of those areas designated as national parks in order to contribute to the security of the nation. The national park, of course, is the one to beat, because with the emerging trend in security activities, or particularly as it relates to insecurity, forest reserves, game reserves, and even, of course, forest areas are used as safe havens by bandits, by kidnappers, for their victims. We are able to reduce such incursion into the national park because of the daily surveillance we give the park. And based on the daily surveillance, we gather intelligence. This intelligence is what we share with other military and paramilitary agencies to make our job easy towards trying to rout out these unwanted visitors into such areas. So as far as I am concerned, the national park is playing a significant role in the security architecture of this country, because we surveil the forest and share intelligence. And apart from sharing intelligence, we also carry out our little activities of trying to confront the bandits, trying to confront the kidnappers and the terrorists. And we do not, apart from physically sometimes getting confrontation with them, we also use technology to acquire information as to where they are, what time are they there, what could they be doing that time. So with this information, like I told you, we use such information to share with our colleagues and be able to at least reduce the insecurity in the national park of the BRS.
For one of the things we have observed is that your agency at the moment are allowed to carry light weapon, and sometimes the kidnappers and the bandits that we find in some of the non-designated forest reserves, I don't know if your mandate covers non-designated, but the ones that are in those areas, they carry heavily sophisticated weapon. But we are yet to see a situation where your men carry, assault rifles to confront in case their lives are threatened. Is there a way we would begin to see your men, more sophisticated in arms as time goes on?
Thank you very much. The issue of whether we carry light weapons or heavy weapons is not the reason we should not perform. The fact that we carry light weapon and collaborate with agencies that carry heavy weapon is enough for us to engage intruders. So, and that is what I said, what I mean by interagency collaboration. With the collaboration of National Park, Nigerian Army, Nigerian Police, DSS, we undertake patrols in our own designated areas of jurisdiction. Whenever we intend to go on patrol, being aware that people we will confront are more armed than us, so we engage the services of the Nigerian Army. We have a collaboration with them. We also engage the services of the Nigerian Police. We have a collaboration with them. We also engage the services of the DSS. We have a collaboration with them. So with this collaboration, it has been helping us to some reasonable extent to be able to get along with the challenges confronting us. And the issue of poaching you have mentioned, of course, and the adoption of animals for trade and the rest of them is what we are also fighting in collaboration with the Nigerian Customs, the National NESRA, that's the National Nigerian Environmental
Safety Agency,
Standard Regulation Agency, NESRA, and of course non-governmental organizations like WCS, Nigerian Conservation Foundation. These non-governmental organizations have always been assistant to us in terms of sharing intelligence, in terms of joining us to be able to carry out sensitization as to the ills of trading in wild animals meat or wild animals trophy, and also using the media, like I always say, to ensure that we are able to create the necessary awareness why people should not engage in wild animals trade, because apart from diseases one is likely to contact, it is also an economic sabotage.
Sure.
And once is apprehended for such things, the person is sent to court and the court does its job.
Talking about sensitization, sir.
Yes.
Is there a possibility that we are going to be seeing a form of community sensitization being initiated and pioneered by the National Park Service to mitigate the issue of the farmer header crisis in the country? It's almost being blown out of proportion.
Well, the issue of farmer cattle, the issue of farmer header conflict, this is something that should be discussed by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture. But if you make it a triangle, farmer, herder, protected areas, conflict, then the national park.
Maybe we can extend it to that
the
triangle.
national park can discuss.
Introduced it.
Because the herdsmen, the farmer, and the protected areas are three bedfellows. Because the herdsman has lost his cattle, his grazing reserve and stock route.
Sure.
Why did he lose it? Because the farmer has encroached on it. Industries have encroached on them. Companies have encroached on them. So he's now forced to graze his animals in protected areas, meaning that daily we are always at loggerheads in conflict with them. Today you devise this strategy, tomorrow is another. You devise this strategy today, another. So, and realizing that force alone cannot solve this problem.
You have to go non-kinetic.
You have to go non-kinetic. And the non-kinetic is to identify their organizations, engage with them, bring their leaders to the table, which we have been doing through our educational extension programs. We have been discussing with them. We have been visiting nomadic education centers to even teach their children, engage with their children, engage with their teachers, and by extension engage with any harassment settlement around that area as a way of finding solution to these problems.
What are we looking up to in the coming years with the National Park Service?
Very interesting question. Yes, in the coming years, what you should be looking up to about the National Park Service is a national park that will become a household name, just like go to Kenya, Tanzania, South Africa. When you say national park, the man on the street will tell you that's their office there. This is the kind of thing I want Nigeria to expect from the National Park Service. Because once that awareness is created, the concept is accepted, our job is halfway done. And you realize that domestic tourism will be reinvigorated. And once your domestic tourism thrives, international tourism will surely thrive. And when your tourism thrives, you are sure of revenue,
foreign exchange,
and foreign exchange.
Peace and security. What advice do you have for Nigerians?
My final words to Nigerians is for us to take security as a concern of everybody. Don't think that security is what the police should do alone, what the army should do alone, what the national park should do alone. Everybody should be concerned. Whatever information you have about any security breach or threat to security, quickly report to the nearest agency responsible for that. Once everybody is alert to this, we will be able to overcome our security situation. But a situation where you don't care what happens, you have an information, you have shared maybe a particular information on social media and you try to keep it to yourself, then you are endangering the lives of other Nigerians. So my words to Nigeria is, let all of us look at security as the responsibility of everybody, not only government. That way we'll be able to assist the government to overcome the security challenges.